Maddie Bratty, hello. Anyone else who's out there? Hello, welcome. How's it going? I'm Abbers. I play video games sometimes. And welcome to Why We Go Live, a podcast where an amateur streamer, me, interviews other streamers, you all, about streaming. Today we have a wonderful guest. His name is Gimpxtreme, and you're good to get to know him in just a few minutes here. Hope everyone's doing well. Hi, Twitchoverse. If you're watching this afterwards, you can watch live recordings of Why We Go Live at twitch.tv/AbbersM2. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to our guest today, Gimpxtreme. Here's a little clip for you to get to know him better.
I need a chainsaw victim. Oh, hi. I'm Gimp, and welcome to my channel, where all my proceeds go straight to charity. You know, I like to think I'm pretty good at video games. Hey, look at that. Got it. Hey! Oh no. Wait, what? We just won a 2.2% chance? Are you kidding? But don't let that fool you. My mods and viewers are very quick to catch my demise. Yep. What? I was enjoying them, so why not? How about we tag team one? Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on my next stream.
Just pretend I didn't accidentally switch to the wrong thing there for 2 seconds. Everyone pretend it didn't happen. You saw nothing. Here he is. Without further ado, Gimp, how's it going?
It's good. How are you?
Good. Welcome. I should have asked this before we started. I apologize. What are your pronouns? I want to make sure I'm not assuming things.
He, him.
Okay, awesome. Great.
Yeah, very simple.
Welcome. I'm hearing fancy noises, and it's because there's a stream of yours that auto-played in the background, and I love it. It's very calming music, but I'm going to turn that off. All right, perfect. I think we're good to go. So, want to just jump right into it? When did you start streaming? Do you remember your very first stream?
Yes. Long time ago, not a galaxy far away, just a couple blocks down the street. I actually started back in May of 2013. 2013. So I've been doing it for almost 9 years.
Wow, you're one of the vets. You're one of the OGs, right? I feel like.
Yes.
Because this was like back in the like Justin TV is now Twitch.tv days, I feel like. Or no?
Actually, yeah, because I never even heard of Twitch, and we all know Spatty. Spatty's the one that introduced me to it, and I immediately got hooked to it.
Yeah.
Because I get to watch people play video games.
Totally.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to do that?
Right. So you said May of 2013?
Yep. May of 2013.
So take us like a few weeks before that, or maybe a month or two before that. What was your thought process in deciding like, okay, I want to try this?
So the big thing for me was, I mean, let's be honest. Who doesn't want to make a living playing video games?
Sure.
At the time, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'd like to do this. Like, I want to show people stuff. Like, I'm decent at video games. So I got it set up on my Frankenstein of a machine, and I got it working, and first few streams were good. Yeah, it was one of those things like, maybe I could do this. Like, I seen other people. I think one of the first channels I followed and watched was playing Isaac. His name is Cobalt Streak. Really great guy. He's been doing it for almost 11 years now, and he had a really welcoming community. He's a really nice guy. So I was like, I can do that. Like, I'm pretty nice. I don't seem to be a mean person. I like games. I can share it with people. And that's the other thing. I love sharing my games. Like, whether it's just a simple Mario game or card game or even just plain WoW. I just want to share it with people.
Yeah. What was the first kind of things that you decided to do on stream?
The first thing I did was Isaac. I learned how to play Isaac and immediately started doing that. And then I switched to more just like Mario Brothers and stuff like that. Mostly because my computer couldn't handle high-end games.
Mm,
So I mostly just played the basics. And at the time, I was a huge console player. So I didn't have a way to capture my stuff. And eventually I got a capture card and kind of moved to those things as well.
got it. What's the story behind your stream name?
Uh, so this again goes back, this one goes back a while. This goes back to 2008. I was going, like, my Steam name was Toshiro Strike. Toshiro means talented, and Strike was just, I don't know, something to add to it. But at the time, my nickname was Gimpy because I had a pulled hamstring in high school and I worked through it. So this guy at work start calling me Gimpy because I gimped around, and I was like, that kind of works. I'll keep that. And then my buddy's like, so we were looking for screen names for my Xbox, and I was like, I gotta think of something cool. And he's like, dude, what if you're Gimp to the extreme? And I was like, kind of like how that flows.
Yeah,
So kind of got that name, and it just stuck. Just
got
kind of
it.
kept to it.
Well, and it's interesting to me because GIMP is a very like uh, specific and strong term in terms of the disabled community, in terms of it having kind of a history
Yes.
of being derogatory and other people kind of taking the power back, and kind of using that name as a disabled person. So I'm just curious, like, what your take is on the word GIMP in kind of that regard.
So when it comes to that, like, again, when I made this name, I was 21, not even 21 yet. So I was
Mm-hmm.
20, little insensitive at the time. I will be completely honest, dropped a lot of really mean words at the time, but my thought of it was, it wasn't to be mean. It wasn't to be cruel. And as I got older and my stream starts to got a little bigger at the time, it was like, it's not derogatory. I support people of any lifestyle or disability. Myself, I am a type 1 diabetic. According to the government, it's a type of disability, autoimmune disease.
Mm-hmm.
Now, am I fully disabled? No. I don't even think I'm disabled at all. It is an autoimmune disease, but I can take care of it. Um, and that was something I was really sensitive about for a very long time. And then, like I said, as I've gotten older, I'm just like, it's just my name. It's not to be harmless. I've met people in your channel who have actually backed me up saying like, oh no, he's just a friendly guy. It just happens to be his name. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's not to be mean. He's not to be a jerk. It's one of those things where it's like, it kind of stuck. And I would say 9 times out of 10 now, GIMP is referred to as a some sort of a sexual term now. When my name
True,
is brought
yeah.
up.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what circles you're running in, but yeah, absolutely it is. Well, and but it all stems back to kind of ableist terminology, right? If we look into the
Right.
BDSM community and what GIMP means in the BDSM community, it is still kind of an ableist term. I think there are other ways to probably describe that without using that term.
Yeah.
But yeah, you brought up something I thought was really interesting. You talked about kind of this idea of being designated as disabled from a government point of view, but not
Yes.
identifying with that label yourself. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So again, like I said, with my diabetes, I was extremely sensitive to that. Mostly because the moment I became a diabetic back when I was almost 9 years old, like a few weeks before my birthday, that was my life. 99% of my life was diabetes. Diabetes this, diabetes that, diabetes that. Check your blood sugar. Make sure you got that under control. What are you eating? Did you count your carbs? Did you do this? It literally controlled my life. And I just didn't want anything to do with it.
Hmm.
When I would apply for jobs, diabetes is under the Disabilities Act.
Mm-hmm.
I have to fill it out. Now, do I think that counts against me? No, but it is something I just got tired of having to say. I'm a
Hmm.
diabetic. I'm a diabetic. I do this. Um, and that's mostly at adolescent age that I was really against it. As I've gotten older in my 30s, it's like it's part of my lifestyle now. And
Yeah.
while it's technically considered a disability, I don't consider myself that because, again, I take care of it. I watch my blood sugars. I count my carbs. I do all that stuff without even thinking about it now. And it's something to where it's like, it's not even like a bad way, but like people see disability as a downside of things.
Hmm.
I don't. But the thing is like it's not that I don't want to connect myself with it. It's just I don't want that to define me,
Sure.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a big difference between something being part of your identity and who you are versus the way that people see you, kind of a thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that makes sense to me. So when you started in May of 2013 in the before times,
Long, long, long
uh,
time ago.
what was your kind of climb to affiliate? How long did it take you to get to affiliate? What did that look like?
So when affiliate was launched,
Oh God, so
ooh,
did affiliate not even exist back then?
if affiliate didn't exist
Tell me all
for
the
the four,
things.
so the 4 years that I started streaming, there was no such thing as affiliate.
Got it.
Um, so like for emotes and stuff, you had to do the better Twitch TV. You had to do this. Um, and the Franker face C's and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, really the only people that use my emotes were me and Spatty. But the big thing was affiliate is you had to have at least three viewers, 50 followers, um, and you had to stream at least 24 hours a week. I think at the time that they launched that, I was streaming around 36 hours. I had a concurrent viewership of 5, and I had over 280 followers at that time. So,
Mm.
I was already qualified. And I think within 3 weeks, I was already given affiliate status. So,
Got it. Okay. And did that change the way that you looked at streaming? Like how did the implementation of the affiliate program kind of change the way that you looked at Twitch or streaming? Or did it?
so it changed it a little bit because my thought was, so the way I look at streaming, and I love it as a career for people. I think some people are just perfect at it. It's just what suits them. Um, my thought on that is I can never make a career out of it. I
Hmm.
will never be able to. Not saying I'm not good enough, not saying I can't do it. Again, it comes back to my diabetes.
Hmm.
I need health insurance, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to pay $400 a month for insurance that's not going to cover anything.
Yeah.
So I need a full time job, but this would be a fun hobby. And what I started doing then, when I first got my first few payouts, uh, that became funds to build my stream. I was able to get an internal capture card for my tower. I was able to buy a new video card. I was able to buy games that came out. Um, and that was kind of where I saw it was like, hey, maybe it's a hobby. And if it gets bigger where I can actually start using the money for cost and savings and stuff like that, great. If not, it's just part of, it's part of me. It's a hobby. It's something I love to do.
Yeah.
So I was all about wanting to, yeah, I want to make money. Who doesn't? But at the time I was like, you know what? It's just a hobby. Let's just have some fun. Let's just show off what we can do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and somewhere along the lines, I know that you, for a while now, have been donating all of your proceeds to charity, which is
Mm-hmm.
really cool, by the way. What kind of led to that decision process? Like, what was your thinking behind that?
So I did the St. Jude's Play Live back in 2015. It was the first year I did it, and I raised $667.
Mm.
And it was kind of a turning point on my stream at the time too, because that's when I started playing the Dark Souls series. I was playing a game, and for every death, I donated $1. And that year was great. I really liked it. It was cool to get new viewers, seeing donations come in to help, the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Because come on, kids with cancer, that's not cool. That's and hygiene.
And I was gonna say, I keep
Keeps
seeing
walking.
like little
Keep seeing
cat
his tail.
tails like walking by.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's doing his thing.
yeah.
So yeah, I really wanted to. I was like, man, this is really cool. So every year I did that, and then I think it was 2018. Uh, my mom has been doing a charity for a very long time. Her charity is called Alleluia Baskets. It's a Catholic-based charity where they make Easter baskets for kids who don't get Easter baskets on Easter. I live in St. Louis. St. Louis is a huge Catholic community, so there's a lot of churches out here that need help. So what my mom does is she gathers baskets, candy, toys and clothing from ages infant to 18, and she puts together these baskets. And then the churches will call and say, "Hey, we need 300 baskets for these kids." She brings them out there. When she started, she made I think it was they made 150 baskets the first year, and last year she did almost 20,000 baskets.
Wow, that's
So I
amazing.
did a charity stream for that, and we raised like $1,500, something around there. I can't remember the exact number, but we raised so much money that I was like, this is great. Like, I feel so good about this. And I did like a 12-hour stream where I had myself, Spatty, my brothers, friends of them, other friends of mine, and we would just play party games all day long, and just people were donating, and I really liked that. And then of course COVID struck, and we did a live one where we got viewer streamers from all over the United States to help out. I got like 6, 7 streamers. They all helped out. We did like a community speedrun race. We did a bunch of other speed runs, and it was good. We raised like another $1,000 that day, so it was really good, and I loved seeing it. So my thought was like, you know what? As I got older and I got a better job, and I was like, I really don't need to buy anything. I don't need the stream to fund me. My thought was, let's just donate it. Like, let's just give it to a random charity. I'll let people pick. We'll do the research. If it works out, great. We've done everything from the Ovarian Cancer Research Foundation to the Trevor Project to, um, like the local ones here. There's like a homeless shelter one here in St. Louis. And my thought is I get paid. I go to my community, say, hey, where's it going? You pick. I'll do the research. If it's cool, I'm going to just dump it. And what I would do is I would donate the exact amount I got paid, and as a validation way, I'd show the receipt that I paid and how much I got paid. So it's like I'm not pocketing anything. Not that I
Right.
think people think that, but it was just to show that I'm 100% for this. This is what I want to do. I want to help people where I am a little antisocial, where I don't like to hang out in crowds and help other do the volunteering that way. If I can volunteer through money, then that's the way I want to do it.
Very cool. That's awesome. So yeah, it sounds like it's the kind of thing that like once you started doing it, it that felt good to you and it was something you wanted to just kind of continue, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Has that changed your outlook on streaming in general at all?
Not really. Because for me, it's like I'm not here for numbers. Uh, if I'm going to be honest, the last year and a half, my viewer count, or not viewer count, but my follows have dropped. I went from 548 earlier this year to 521, and then it went back to the 530. So for me, it's like one, I know there's bots. Two, I know people just stop watching Twitch, and three, people just might unfollow me because they're not interested, and that's okay. But for me, it's like I just want to bring content to people at this point, and when I do events, I do start reaching out to people. I start asking other discords, hey, can I post my charity event? Can I do this? Can I do this? People are usually like, charity, pff, go for it. Like, we're not going to stop you. Like,
Imagine someone
we'll
being like,
dump over.
"No, you can't." Like,
No, this is my channel, my money.
I mean, honestly, though, in the Twitch world, it's kind of surprising. But yeah, no,
It is a
I get
little.
that. Yeah.
Sometimes with Twitch world, it's a little cutthroat, and I know that.
Hmm. Yeah, let's talk about the numbers more. How do the numbers kind of impact your streaming? What is your relationship to the numbers and the algorithm?
So the only number that I like to see is viewer count. And the reason why is I want to engage with chat. If my chat's active, I never shut up. I just keep talking. And that's just, it's fun for me because I want to talk to people about strategies. I want to talk to people about gameplay. I want to talk to people about what's going on in their lives. Like, what did they do this weekend? Or what was fun? And to put it into perspective, when it comes to my games, and I'm sure you've seen this, I play everything from card games to sports games to action games to puzzle games to horror games. I play everything. So I bring in a large variety of different people. And it's good just to engage with other people and find out their interests because I've had a couple people that come in when I'm playing, say, MLB The Show, baseball game. Not a lot of people like sports on Twitch. I'll be honest, it's pretty normal. But I'll get those people who love baseball. And then they'll be like, one guy might be like, yeah, I do. I play the show all the time. I might just drop a raid on them. While it may only be 4 or 5 people, it's 4 or 5 people. And I'm sharing the love. I want people to know them. I want people to find other channels because it's not just about me, 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 me.
Yeah.
I'm not an attention person. Like I don't like it. It's like I do like the attention when I get it, but I don't need it to survive, if that's the right way to say it. So I want to make sure people can see other channels and experience because you know what, you may like my channel, but it may not be the perfect fit for you. So why don't we go to another one? For example, a good reason is I found your channel via raid.
Hey, hey. Love it.
You got raided, and I think Spatty and I were both in that raid. We both followed you, and we just started watching you because you would stream at random times, which was great. I love random times because it's just sometimes I hop on Twitch. I'm like, nobody's on. I want to watch. Um, and then you just be on, and we just leave you on the background. And yeah, it's you had a good personality. You're funny. You interacted with chat,
Thanks. Really appreciate
and
that.
yeah, it's one of those things where it's if someone's like that, I want them to be like if someone's funny and I enjoy their stream, I want other people to see it
Yeah,
because it's like if I'm the only one enjoying it, what's the point of rating them?
totally.
I want them to raid so you can enjoy it as well.
And I think there's kind of two schools of thought, obviously there's more, there's gray area, there's other things in between, but generally speaking, what I've encountered on Twitch is that there's two schools of thought. There's either this idea of like everyone's your competition, you got to be cutthroat, you got to play the game, kind of a thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And again, these are extremes, so there's all sorts of things in
Yes.
between. And I'm not even saying that's bad, right? If this is your business and your livelihood, I get it. And I also think the other kind of school of thought is we can build community here together. No one is my competition. Everyone is a potential person that can be part of my community, and maybe my community can be part of theirs, and we can kind of like all share the wealth in a way, right? And again, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think one of those things is necessarily evil or bad or that the other is better, but I do think it's interesting because I think it shows up in terms of the way that people kind of engage with their chat and engage with the platform and just with streaming in general.
Yes.
Um,
So my thought, sorry, I didn't
no,
mean
no,
to
no,
interrupt
go
you.
ahead.
My quick thought on that is, and Spetty will back me up 100% on this. I am a very, very competitive person. I just don't like to be competitive.
Interesting.
So in a way, yeah, it's I get really heated in some moments. But like my thought is like it's good to be competitive. It's good to want to beat other channels and numbers and stuff. Like I'm all that's great. If that's your livelihood, go for it. But at the same time, you can still be competitive and friendly at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You can be competitive and you can be like, this guy, I'm gonna go to his channel even though he's got more viewers than me, and I don't, it's like it's a little competitive. I want more, but you know what? He's a good dude, and he deserves the support.
Yeah.
Um, like for me, I don't. Twitch is not my income. It's literally just a hobby for me. So my thought is I can share it with people. So that's. But again, if I was a full time streamer making money, I would be competitive, but I would never still be like, don't go to their channel, don't follow them, don't sub to them, don't
Sure.
donate, don't. It's I don't know. The cutthroat mentality is so cruel,
Well,
if
I think
that's the
there's a
word for it.
difference between being competitive with yourself and competitive with other people, right?
Yes.
And I think there's this kind of like fallacy that like there's only room for so many people at the top, therefore it's either him or me kind of a thing.
Yep.
Because I just don't think that's true, but I can understand where people feel that way, you know?
Yes, exactly.
You mentioned something earlier about the viewer count. So the viewer count is the one thing that matters to you. Do you keep your viewer count on when you stream?
It's one of those things. It's just in my OBS,
Yeah,
so it's just there.
yeah.
A lot of time for a while there, I was
I
really
mean, you
obsessed with
can
it.
turn it off technically.
I can,
Technically.
but the other thing for me is it also gives me like numbers for like clips and
Mm-hmm.
stream time because as you've seen, I have cats, and my cats like to lay right in front of my OBS screen.
Yeah,
So I can't see the bottom line that gives me the stream time. It doesn't give me my drop frames. I can have it on another bar, which is
that
where
makes
I
sense.
keep it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's tough because like again, it's if I can talk to people, it's fun. I'm having a good time,
Yeah.
even if people, like I said in my channel trailer, that if they catch me at my failures, it's all for fun. That's the point. I want people to talk, like, but I'm not going to sit there and take people being cruel to other people.
Sure.
That's a big thing too, because like I think in my channel itself it says don't let's not be jerks. We're all adults here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as you know, with me as your mod and Spad as your mod, we'll drop the hammer as quickly as we need to.
Yeah.
We're not afraid. Like there are over, I think it's like 100 million accounts on Twitch or something like that. It's probably
Yeah.
more than that now. I'm not going to miss that one person.
Yeah.
That person needs to be dropped. They need to be dropped.
So what do you do, knowing your viewer count and knowing how important it is to kind of engage with people in chat? what do you do when there's no one in your chat, or what do you do when everyone's lurking and no one is talking? How does that feel? Because it happens to all of us, right? Like what?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
do you respond to that?
So the way I look at it, and it was a T-shirt that Twitch offered years ago. I mean, like when they first released like their T-shirts and stuff, and it said "Stream like nobody's watching." So it became a weird habit of talking to yourself, um, discussing, like, oh, what am I going to do here? Or, oh man, I can't wait for this game. It's just, you keep it active. Someone drops in, says hi, or whatever random thing they say when they first come in, you just kind of engage with them. And then I just keep going. Because I have a lot of people that are like, hey, how's it going? Or they'll be like lols, Kappa, whatever. And then they don't say anything, but they're there.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep talking because eventually maybe I pique their interest. Maybe I get them to engage. Maybe it's something I say. Maybe it's something I did. Maybe it's something I failed at. Anything like that. I want them to feel like it's a welcome community. So again, it's like talking to yourself all day. And that's kind of the aspect that makes it actually helps with talking in general. I don't like talking in front of groups. I don't like talking in front of more than 5 people. I can talk with my friends and we can BS the whole time, but like it's really hard for me to stand up in front of a group of people and just talk.
Yeah.
But that helps because I think the biggest rate I've had, and this was 2 years ago, I had over 597 people rate my channel.
Whew. That makes me sweaty just thinking about it.
I'm sweating already thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even, I think what it was, I don't even think it was a rate. I think this guy just auto hosted me because I was playing Among Us with my friends. I was playing Among Us and we're just talking and stuff. I look over and my number went from like 10 to like 590 something. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And I was like, hey, it's bad. My numbers went to 590. He's like, huh, yeah, I see that too. But nobody said anything. No one dropped follows, whatever. But I was just like, okay, that was weird. So I looked into it and found out that someone did rate me. They were playing Among Us as well. I'm like, oh, let's find another channel. Let's find a small one. Even though there's no interaction, I was just like, wow, that's just a lot of people. But the thing I immediately did was I just kept playing. I just didn't look at it. My chat popped up. Great, I'll talk to them. If not, just keep playing.
Yeah.
Like, are you supposed to shut down your stream and your mentality just because a big number showed up? No. You just gotta treat it like it's any other day. Welcome people in, give them the attention they deserve, and it's a win-win in my aspect because you're not doing anything wrong. You're engaging with your community and you're thankful for what happened.
Sure. Yeah.
Instead of like sweating and panicking and.
But that's also human, right? It's not like you can
control
that necessarily,
exactly.
Ideally, it's like, yeah, no, cool, calm and collected. But like in reality, sometimes that's just not how it is, right?
Exactly. No, it's not possible, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. In general, what kind of people tend to find your stream? What kind of people end up hanging out in a stream of yours?
Weirdly enough, foreigners.
Interesting.
People from other countries. I get a lot of European people. I've gotten a couple South Americans as well. And it's mostly because I play really obscure games sometimes. The most obscure game I play is called Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. It's a terrible, terrible PlayStation 1 game. And somebody modded it to make it a little more easier and more fun. So I started playing that more. And I started making friends with people in Germany. One of my longtime followers, and like, again, we don't talk much, but we lurk in each other's stream. He is from England and he's like one of the bigger speedrunners in that game. And we'll just talk sometimes. Like he'll come in and just say hi and that's it. I mean, and I even back when I was doing the Super Mario 3 randomizer tournament, I made a lot of friends with the people over there. One guy is Swedish, one of my competitors last year that I beat. And I can't understand what he's saying in his stream, but I'll just lurk in there and watch him. And he does speak really good English, by the way. I should say that, but his stream is mostly in Sweden, or Swedish, I should say. So he speaks in his native tongue, and I'll just watch because he's just a good person. He was really nice. Like it was a really close race. I beat him, and all he had to say was like, "Hey man, good race. It was fun." Like there was no cutthroat mentality. So it's like I tend to just. I like to think that I bring in nice people because of just the way my personality is, and I think it's really cool to see other countries like be interested. Like for example, for your stream, you have a lot of Canadians.
I do have a lot of Canadians in my stream. Yeah.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's awesome.
I
Like
like how you say
it's
there's nothing wrong with Canadians. You're
eh.
welcome here.
I don't know why I just said that, but
No, it's
yes,
hilarious. You're good.
that's the whole point. Like it's you want people in, and you just want to feel like that they're all part of this niche community that you have, where everyone's friendly and kind, and no one cares about labels really. You know what I
Oh.
mean? Like it's not a bad way. It's like it's just saying like we're all friends and family here.
Well,
We're
there's
here
something
to
like
support each other.
yeah, and there's something really neat about like I don't think you would have ever met a speedrunner from Sweden if you um, didn't have Twitch, right? Like I think it's pretty
Right.
easy to say that's a there's a really unique thing about Twitch and streaming in terms of like being able to meet people from all over the world and people that you really wouldn't interact with in your day to day life otherwise, you know?
That's exactly it. I think Twitch is great because it's like you said with meeting other people. Because one of the things I notice with mainline media, mainstream media. So let's say you're watching a show on, let's say Netflix, wherever you're watching it, and they make the main character or some character a gamer, and you see them playing some game, and they made a friend with somebody in England or in Mexico or Germany, some foreign country, and they're just like the bestest of friends. I'm going to be really honest. I don't think I've met anybody who's had that interaction before.
Hmm.
I see it on Reddit and stuff like that, but I think in a way it's like people believe that because you play with people online, you're instantly going to be friends with them. And I'm like, no, I think with Twitch it's a little easier because you can have those little communications in the chat.
Yeah.
You can talk and have like little threads, end up whispering, talk on Discord eventually, getting Mario mad at each other. Um, well, not when we played together, but
Yes.
like it's an easier way to function because I feel like when you play online these days, even back in let's say 2006 when online gaming became huge, you get these 10-minute interactions with people. Now sometimes you might play a game like we would play Overwatch when it came out, and if you had like a really good comp with these randos, they'll be like stick together as a team. It was an option in the game, so you stick together. I've never really made friends with people through a game, so the idea of it's a little rare and off topic for me. But like I can see that kind of aspect coming together in a sense. But like I just think the mainstream media doesn't really still understand how streaming is and how it works as far as building communities and
Sure.
friendships.
Well, and just video games in general, I always love like this is just a total aside, but like I love the way that like characters will like hold a controller as if they've like never seen a yeah, exactly. This is how I play video games. Like it's great. It's great.
And then they never use triggers, they never use bumpers. They're
No.
just like
And they're just button mashing the whole time, which granted I do as well, but like it's just funny. Yeah, I love that. So those are kind of the people that find you. What is the impression that you hope to leave? Okay, hold on. We just have to acknowledge the cat real quick. Oh, sweet baby. Your cats make appearances on your stream quite often, yeah?
it's mostly me yelling at Houdini. But
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
he wants to be held, so I
Look at
have to
this
hold him now.
fluffy
Oh,
guy.
no, and then he jumps off me like that.
Aw.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
No problem. So I was wondering, what is kind of the impression that you hope to leave on people? Like, what do you hope they take away from your streams?
I think the big thing is that I'm welcoming, I'm nice, but also that I like to challenge myself. I like to play hard mode. I like to be in a tough situation, but yet I'm very good on figuring out, I like to think I'm quick witted because the biggest joke between Spatty and I is that we're morons. Like we're just big dum dums. But in reality, we're both really smart and we're really good at problem solving. And for me, it's like I want to show that off. Like, yeah, I'm not going to know one thing about biology. I'm not going to know one thing about human anatomy. But man, you ask me about Pokemon, I'm just going to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And then you ask me about Hearthstone, I'm going to do the same. You ask me about Sonic, Mega Man, Mario, any of that. I'm just going to talk continuously. And I just want people to know that I'm I'm smart. I can handle challenges, and I love it. It's fun. It's fun for me. Yes, dying repeatedly in Dark Souls is fun for me because it's about learning and adapting on the fly. it's almost like a job in a sense where you have to know that the unexpected could happen, and there will be patterns that you will find, and you'll, even in work life, there are
Mm-hmm.
times where I know when something's coming up and I know what's going to happen. I'm prepared for it then, so I'm not stressed out anymore. So in a way, it's a way for me to be like, hey, look, I like to show off what I can do, but at the same time, it builds my confidence in my own life.
Yeah. Well, and as someone who does speedrun competitions, and recently you've been doing Elden Ring randomizers, right? So doing things on
Mhm.
hard mode. How important is it for you for people to see your skill?
Importance is it's more of the recognition, but I don't know if it's super important. Mostly because I feel like a lot of the stuff I do play is very unique.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Most people who do randomizers, they're gonna be like, "Oh, there's a Mario 3 randomizer. I didn't know that." Mostly because most randomizers who speedrun play Link to the Past randomizer. I'm actually not a big fan of that game. I like it. I just don't think it's great. So I get a lot of, like it's one of the things, like I play a niche randomizer that came out 7 years ago, and and then I'm starting to play Elden Ring randomizer. Yes, Elden Ring is one of the biggest games out there right now. People love it. But then people are like, wait, you're randomizing it? Why would you do that? That's so crazy. But it's, for me, it's fun because it's like playing a brand new game.
Yeah.
And I just want to show it off.
Talk about the recognition piece a little bit more.
So the recognition is, it's like, so if somebody recognizes how good I am, it feels good on the inside. Most, again, because I play very unique games, there's not a lot of people who do say that. Um, the Soul series is a very, very, very big gatekeeping community, and it's really
Mm.
disheartening. There is a like small percentage of people like myself who are always like, you play the game how you want to play it. You want to use this cheap attack because it kills everything in 2 hits? Go for it. I'm not going to stop you. I don't need, and it's one of those things where, like, I think I'm looking for the attention in a community that's not going to give it to me. But at the same time, I want people who have never seen the game to be like, oh, this game looks really cool. This guy's really good at it. There is a lot of times I'm playing and someone will be like, hey, where do you find this item? You know, Anybody can Google it, but I'll if I know off the top of my head, I'm just going to tell them.
Yeah.
And it's like being the elder, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Being
Like,
being
hey,
the wise older brother.
it's like being fun when you're playing WoW.
Yeah. Shout out fun
That's a
if
good way
y'all
to
don't
put it,
know
because
fun.
fun knows exactly where to find everything, and she's, you're like, man, where can I find this monster? She's like, coordinates is 25 by 32, and this section, they only spawn at this time of the day. It's like she just knows, and it's
Mm-hmm.
great.
Yeah.
She's super knowledgeable, and I kind of want to have that feeling. Like, I want to be knowledgeable in that sense.
Yeah. It's nice to be needed. And using this word recognition, it's nice to be recognized for what you know and to be able to use that in a way that's helpful for other people. There's something that feels really good
Yeah.
about that. And I imagine for you, as someone who cares about charity and cares about creating an environment that where people, see you as someone who's warm and welcoming and nice, like I can see where being able to pass on knowledge would be really, uh, I don't know, intriguing about streaming. I can see that for sure.
Yes. It's a big thing for me. And like the other thing for like we discussed before this is I also like to troll my friends a lot with that.
Yeah.
You're probably one of the biggest victims of mine, as I
How
joke.
dare you, sir?
Yeah, I know, how dare. But that's the thing is, for me, is like I'm still going to be helpful. I still want people to know that I'm here to help. It's not because I need it to make me function. It's I need it in a sense to let you know that I'm here. I'm here. I'm not here to be like tapping on the shoulder, like, Abbers, hey, Abbers, Abbers, I know the answer. Abbers, hey,
Right.
hey.
Right.
If you sit there and you ask specifically, Gimp or Fun or Spat, I need help with this.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good feeling. Like, we want to help, and
Yeah.
that's the coolest thing about it is if someone literally comes to my channel and goes, hey, I can't find this weapon, and someone said it's in this section, what do you do? And I give them an answer, even if they don't drop a follow, and if they're just like, oh, thanks, and they leave, that's great. I help somebody. I feel
Yeah.
good. Like, it's one of those things like, actually, I know the coordinates, so let me find it for you. And it's one of those feelings. It is being the nerdy kid who knows where everything is, kind of thing.
Sure. There's something validating about that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, what about when the opposite happens? Because it happens to everyone. What about when backseaters come in and then try to tell you how to play your game or tell you you're playing it wrong or give you unsolicited advice? How do you deal with that?
Sometimes we sometimes we troll them.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Oh yeah, you need to go left here. I'll go right." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going left. I'm going left." Or if they're just like, "Actually, you could do this attack." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm doing a challenge run that prevents me from doing it. Like, appreciate your help though." Um, or I just a simple, "Hey, no backseating, please. I'm just trying to figure this out myself." And if they don't listen, Spatty's generally standing behind him with a giant hammer. So we usually start with a timeout, and if they come back to be jerks, then it's just ban them.
Yeah.
It's it's part of being on Twitch. You're going to get trolls. You're going to get people who think they know better than you. There are good people who do know more than you, but at the same time, you got to respect people. You got to understand that, like, hey, I know, like, hey, I know you're trying to help, and please don't. One of the
Mm-hmm.
biggest streamers I watch, he's got 4 to 5 thousand people every morning when he does a crossword.
That's amazing.
So people are splurting out answers left and right, and he always says, "Guys, no help, please, no help." And there's even times where he's like, "I'm closing chat." And then there's times where he gets so mad at his chat when because he'll switch to like a Kaizo Mario, and people are just being jerks the whole time and telling him he's doing it wrong. He he opens his chat window, puts it on his main screen, and he goes, "You know what time it is, chat?" And his chat goes fast. He just starts banning people, like
Oh, damn.
slamming on and it's
Oh,
so
that's so
funny.
intense.
And then like he'll put on like Doom music, and he's laughing the whole time as he's doing it. And yeah, he does unban people, but it's just
That's
for him.
funny.
It's a way to get the release of, "You guys are annoying. Shut up. Let me do this. I'm trying to have a good time
Yeah.
to entertain other people, and you guys just don't listen." So, um, I get it. Like I totally get it. I'm pretty sure. I think the biggest time we dealt with that is when Spatty and I did a playthrough of Terraria together,
Mm.
and I mean we went through the entire playthrough, and people were coming in like, "Hey, you need to do this," or, "Why are you guys playing this shit game? It's not Minecraft. It's blah blah blah." And it's like, "Oh, you guys must be virgins, huh?" It's like, really? Did you really spend your Saturday afternoon to come in here to tell me I'm a loser because I'm not playing Minecraft and I'm a virgin? I don't know how to play the game. Like, is your life that boring
Mm.
that's what you do on Saturdays?
How
Because
much do
trust me, I
you. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I have boring afternoons too, but I generally just watch a movie.
Sure, yeah.
So
How much do you engage with trolls versus decide, okay, ban them? Like, how do you define that line for yourself?
it's generally okay. So like Spatty and I do in your channel, the name is the first giveaway.
Screen names tell you a lot.
Are we gonna deal with a troll? Is it just a normal person? Is it just some person who literally does this? That's all they do. Um, and it's generally their grammar. It sounds weird, but their grammar gives a dead giveaway too. The way they say
Yeah,
something,
that's hard for me to be
how
honest because so much of grammar is access to education, and we're talking about like
right.
different abilities in terms of I don't know, having access to like typing versus like yeah. So I struggle with the grammar one to be honest with you. I have to kind of
I
call that out.
well, I think I should rephrase that. Maybe not grammar, but the way that they use Twitch lingo is
Mm.
what I should have said.
Mm-hmm.
The way they spell something out because that's the way Twitch spells it out.
I see. I see.
Um, the slang that Twitch uses, or the better yet, franker face, better Twitch TV emotes they use.
Yeah.
There's
Sure.
millions of them, and some of them you're just like, what? Like, why is this an emote? Like, why? Who made this kind of thing? And then otherwise, like some people I troll would literally be my own friends when they come in my channel. They'll say something and then I'll just troll them right back. It's all just on the situation and what you're seeing. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hang on one second. I'm getting a little warm here. And speaking of trolling,
You gonna troll me right now with your green screen? Oh, shut up! Get out of here!
So
What is
I
wrong?
like to
Are
say
you fucking serious
I
right now?
love
How
Cheez-Its,
dare
okay?
you?
I just want to let you know we got
Oh, that's fucking
all the
incredible.
flavors
That is
that you'll ever
amazing.
want.
I was wondering. Okay, can I tell you guys real quick? I was like, "Hey Gimp, like, do you want your green screen up? I'm not gonna be able to like chroma key it." And he's like, "Oh, it's fine. Like, just leave it. Like, it's no problem. I'll just have my green screen." I cannot believe you. Also, did you already have that Cheez-It shirt, or did you buy it for this?
I actually bought it.
You're out of control, this guy.
So in reality is I had one of these Cheez-It boxes already because I just have them in my house. But I went to Walmart and I bought everything.
You are
I bought everything.
dedicated to the bit, my friend. That is
And don't worry,
incredible.
we're gonna eat them because
I'm sure you will.
We got this.
I was at T. Miller's house yesterday, and she had white cheddar Cheez-Its, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a handful to like, we're gonna like really try it because like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've been wrong about Cheez-Its my whole life. Mediocre snack, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not. I don't.
Hey.
Listen. Like.
Hey, some people have good taste and some people
Okay.
don't.
All right. That's interview over. Podcast done.
Banned,
well,
unmodded, unsubbed.
Unmodded. You're banned from my channel. That's incredible. That's incredible. Gimpxtreme, everybody.
That's what I do.
Okay, but this is
Gotta
interesting.
have some
So
fun.
You were talking about it's difficult. I'm paraphrasing here, but this kind of idea of like it's not necessarily easy to just become friends with someone if you play a game with them online, but there's something about Twitch where you're actually able to have seemingly genuine kind of connections with people and really form valid friendships. And I think that there's something about kind of, we use this word troll interchangeably in terms of like, there's friendly trolling where it's like you're joking with your friends and you're giving them a hard time and you went out and bought a Cheez-It shirt, right? Versus someone who is bigoted and being cruel and mean and coming into your chat and trying to spread that and kind of get a rise out of you in a very negative way, right? And so like, it's interesting to me because I think there's an element of needing to know what kind of relationship you have with people and kind of what you can get away with, I guess. How do you navigate that? How do you navigate the kind of social relationships that you make through Twitch?
A good way to start would be our friendship. You know, when you make a friendship with somebody, you do tiptoe. Everybody tiptoes. You kind of like, you put your foot in, like, is that safe? No, that's not safe. And if I've ever said anything incorrect, you're right there. Like just a few minutes ago about grammar, you corrected me. And that's good to know because a big part of my communication with people is I say things, but I don't really think I'm saying it the right way. And I do that a lot where it sounds like I'm being cruel, but in reality, it's like, I meant to say it this way. I just didn't put my brain around it for a second to think about it. I just blurted it out because I had to say it. And just making friends online is, you know, a big thing is like, so with your chat with T Miller, I can joke with her because the way I watch her interact with people and the way I watch her interact with you on stream, and I know exactly what I can say and what I can't say. And it's not that I have a lot that I want that I can't say. It's just you read and learn about that person. And that's a big thing because some people literally all they want to do is troll, but it's not a cruel way. It's a fun way of just like messing with people. In other ways, some people could be super nice and then they just say something cruel out of nowhere. And you're just like, okay. And then, you know, like with you and I, like, I'm just going to say, hey, I don't appreciate that. If they get really offended by it or they try to make, like, because people will sit there and be like, oh, I'm sorry, let me explain this. And it's like, sometimes it's like, yeah, there's no need to be explanations because we've already set the ground here in this area that's not cool. There's no excuse for it.
Well, and we all misstep and we all misspeak, and we are also all ignorant of things, right? Like you can't know what you don't know. That's just how it is. And so I think that there's an element of like ego stripping that needs to happen in terms of, especially, and you mentioned this already, like you're meeting people on Twitch from all walks of life, from all different parts of the world, from all different kind of viewpoints. So to be able to be on a kind of same level with communication and understanding where people are coming from, I think takes a lot of like observation, which you just mentioned, of really like paying attention to where people's boundaries are. And also I think a lot of like open, honest communication, which I think for the internet space is a really kind of refreshing, unique thing, you know?
It is, yes,
Twitch is
because people
interesting.
can just it's the term that people say like keyboard warrior,
Yeah, yeah.
nice phrase. I'm not going to say the whole one, but it's the people who are just like, I'm behind a keyboard, so I'm going to say whatever I can, and I can't get in trouble for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's a way of, yeah, there is some good conversations that can come from it, and then there's some where you're like, yeah, you shouldn't be talking.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing to say. And I think a lot of it was especially at Twitch because people can wear a mask. They wear a mask. They have a screen name,
Yeah.
and the fact that you could just make a new account within a second,
Yeah.
another thing. Um, and that's a big like I have had people who've done that where I banned them in my channel for just being ignorant, and
Mm-hmm.
they come back with a new name and just continue to be ignorant. And it's like, look, I what do you want me to do? I don't have to hit ban. I will have my mod just ban you the moment you come and say something stupid. It's like it's no it's no issue off our shoulder. Like I think people want to do it to be interior, to get under that skin. And a lot of times it's the turn the blind eye and just ignore them because it's it's what's going to happen.
Yeah. 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 It's hard. I
Like,
mean,
unfortunately, I don't have that kind of power on Twitch to be like, hey, can you guys just ban this IP address for me?
yeah, right. Well, and it's hard. I struggle with this kind of idea of like when is it time to be patient and try to have a constructive conversation versus when is it time to just ban and give up and wash my hands of it kind of a thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? I still can't get over the wall of Cheez-Its behind you. I can't. I can't. I mean, I
He
can
is
believe, but like, it
Houdini.
just incredible,
No Cheez-Its, man. By
ridiculous.
the way, he loves
I'm
Cheez-Its.
sure he does.
He does. No, I'm not kidding. Like, there's a couple times I hear a bang in the middle of the night, and it's because he knocked over the Cheez-It box and he's trying to eat them.
Oh my god, amazing.
Like father,
Um,
like son.
we've talked a little bit about this, and we're kind of talking about it right now in terms of like identity and worldview. What are some aspects of your identity and who you are that kind of show up on your stream?
So one of the biggest things is, again, like with charity, I'm a very caring person. Um, I don't want to be mean just to be mean. I don't like I don't like being mean. I just want to let people know I'm very friendly. I want people to know that it's just, my community is a safe space. The best thing Twitch ever did was give me the ally tag. That was the best thing that they ever did to me. Because you know I'm straight. I'm a hetero straight male, and to be honest, hetero straight males are the villain in a lot of these situations. And I want people to know that I support them, their lifestyle, their choices. I'm here to be friendly. I'm here to be a support system. It's not something that I understood when I was younger. I can be completely honest with that. And as I've gotten older and get to know people who have those lifestyles, it's like they're just like me. They're just a human being, and I want people to know that I'm here to share the games, and I'm here to be your friend from whatever walks of life you come from. I don't hold any grudge against you or any pre thought. What's the word I'm looking for? Something I thought before they even came in. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like,
Yeah, like a preconceived like
thank
idea.
you.
Yeah,
Words
yeah.
are hard.
I got you. I got you. Would it be fair to say that Twitch has kind of given you access to getting to know queer people and getting to know LGBTQIA plus people more and understanding other perspectives that way?
Yeah, that's the big thing. Is so back in 2020, you had the whole COVID, everybody's locked down. You had a lot of the Me Too movement happening, and as as myself, I felt in a spot where I was like, I don't know how to show my support without people thinking I'm just doing it to cover my own ass.
Mm.
Because I sent out a tweet one day and I'm like, hey, people, these communities, women, minorities, like I'm a white male and I just want to show my support.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do?
Mm-hmm.
I got no response, and that's okay, because most tweets go unanswered.
Here's the response.
Um,
Google that shit.
yeah,
No,
yeah, that's
continue.
exactly somebody could have said. But like, it's starting to be part of your stream. It's starting to be part of other streams that are similar to it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think over half of my channels I watch are of that community now because it's just they're no different than me.
Mm-hmm.
They play games. They like comics. They like Pokemon. They like Cheez-Its. You know,
Some of
some
them.
don't. It's
Some of them
okay.
do.
No grudges, but it's a way of knowing that like they're just human beings, and they're just like me. They're
Mm-hmm.
they're awkward. They're dorky. They're nerdy. Um, they rage at times if they have to,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
overall, they're just people, and I love being a part of their community and learning how to be um just be friends. I want people to I just want people to get along.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that sounds weird, like the alliance is okay, Appers.
Wow. Wow. I feel very attacked today. No, I'm
No,
with
but
you.
like in reality, it's like I actually don't mind horde players. I used to hate them because they're ignorant. Most people I met were horde players were ignorant.
Wow.
In reality,
Wow. We're getting into it today.
let me put it back. This is back in 2008
Mm-hmm.
when I was playing Lich King. Now, as I've gotten older, I'm like they're just like they're just like me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm not going to sit there and bash them for no reason.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be like, why can't we all just orc and human hand in hand? Let's save Azeroth,
Yeah.
which they've done a few times with the expansions. But overall, it's like I just want to be friends with everybody. I don't have a
Sure.
reason to become the villain.
Right. Yeah, totally. Well, and I think what you're saying is very true. I think in some ways it's very necessary to recognize and honor each other's differences while
Mm-hmm.
also recognizing that there's so much that's similar between us and that we can all kind of, you know, relate on. And I think that Twitch is kind of this interesting equalizer that way because, like we said, is that a Cheez-Its hat too? No, what is that? Alliance hat. Got it. Okay. I get it, Gimp. I
Spatty's got
understand.
my
I
back.
get
Spatty's
it.
got my back.
I get it. You love Stormwind. I get it. It's fine. Whatever. No, but I think Twitch is kind of this great equalizer that way, where it's that's kind of the thing that is connecting everyone, and you find out that everyone can have differing viewpoints while also having similar goals and similar kind of interests and hobbies and
Yes.
passions. Yeah. So in terms of kind of, I don't know, your internet self and your Twitch self versus private life day to day outside of the internet, where do those two things kind of meet? Do you feel like you're the same guy on Twitch as you are in real life? Are there differences?
There are very small differences. Spatty's the first one to call me out whenever I do something I probably shouldn't have done.
Hmm.
And it's good. I need someone to keep me in check. Because yeah, I used to have a lot of very, very mean thoughts towards other games and viewpoints. One of my biggest things, I hate League of Legends.
Hmm.
In the past, I'd bash it left and right. Every now and then I do have my moments. I had one last night because my friends were just talking about it constantly. But overall, I keep it in check more because it's like, you know what? Just because they like it doesn't mean I have to be mean to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just part of it. Um, Again, like I said, when I was like 20 or something, I would just say something because I felt it. And it's funny because now I see that with my younger brother who's 24. He's starting to kind of keep himself very. He'll just say something sometimes. I'm like, dude, you can't say that. And he'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, really? And then there's times where he's really thoughtful and stuff like that. So I see a vision of myself when I was younger doing the same thing, and as I got older, I'm like, I don't need to say this. I don't need to be just because I don't like something doesn't mean I have to tell them I don't like something. All I can say is it's not for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
League of Legends, not for me.
Do
But
you,
it's something where like with my life on Twitch and stuff like that's exactly what I'll say. Like Dark in the chat right now is kind of like saying there's a lot of things that he does, and it's like, yeah, that's true. It's like I just say it's not for me, not my
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Like you mentioned earlier that like public speaking is something that you don't really like doing, and yet on a stream at any given moment you might be talking to like 3 to 15 people, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what is the difference there for you?
So what makes a difference is, um, so like when it comes to public speaking, one of the oldest things in the book that they say is just imagine everyone's naked.
Mm-hmm.
No thanks. My thought on it is the way I look at it is I see avatars. Like if you click on anybody's name, you see their Twitch icon. That's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the person talking. Yeah, sometimes it's our own faces. Other times people just have like, I don't know, like they'll just have Thrall as their icon. That's fine because it's I know the person. I know the person I'm talking to. But to me it's like being in a chat room with just your icons.
Hmm.
There's no difference in seeing it as a bad, like, it's not like a real person. Like if all these chat people were in my living room right now, I'd be like, do you guys want water? There's my cat. Like I just wouldn't know what to say
Yeah.
because I'd have to, because all of their eyes would be on me. Where for
Hmm.
me, it's like a good way to look at this is like on Twitch, if you see somebody with a webcam, um, I think it's a good way to kind of get an idea of like how they want people to see them or how if it's more of a focal point for them. For me, I'm like this big on the screen. I might troll, make myself giant just to be funny, but a lot of times I'm small because my focal point for you is the gameplay. Is I want you guys to see what I'm doing. I want you guys to watch it. I want you guys to engage in it. Um, I'm just for me, it's like I want people to know that I'm a real person. I'm here, and on top of it, it's I don't want it to be the focal point. So to me, it's like being the avatar. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
up there, but that's not the focal point of the chat room. Like if you're doing a just chatting stream, yes, I would have to be the main focal point. Like right now,
Yeah.
I'm half of your screen.
You
I'm a
are.
focal point.
You're here. You and your
I
Cheez-It
mean,
shirt.
I could just start grave digging, like just digging away and stuff. But
You could.
I don't.
I can't stop
I
you.
just, yeah, you can't. You can't. I could just go all the way in. But in reality, it's not my focal point, so I don't think
Mm.
about it as much.
Yeah.
Um, like like with my races, when I did speedrunning races, I turn off my camera because I want you guys to watch that. That's what I want you to watch. I don't want you to watch my face or anything. I want you to focus on what I'm doing. So,
Yeah. Well, there's a protective element there, right? Of having
mhm.
there's almost a shield there of like you're not with you not being the focal point. There is something I can see where it's easier to be more comfortable, and maybe
Mhm.
even more comfortable to be yourself because you're not the main focus necessarily.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
Um, I can tell you now, a lot of days when I don't have my webcam on, it's probably because I'm slouching and I'm way back in my
Yeah,
chair and I
total
didn't
gremlin
shower.
hours. I remember
Yes,
Elizabeth said that one time, and I like that phrase lives in my mind. She's like, "Oh my god, I love when I use my VTuber because it's just total gremlin hours," and I identify with that very much. It makes total sense to me.
which is something I thought like I don't know if I'd ever actually make a VTuber
Hmm.
because literally all it would be is just an image of me and the mouth just goes up and down.
I mean, I
That's
love
all it
that
would be.
idea for the record. If you ever did want to do that, I think it'd be hilarious.
I'm
But yeah,
actually looking into it
love
because there's a
it.
lot of
That's
times where I'm
great.
like, I just don't want to be on screen,
Right.
but just having this like puppet going would be
I kind of think
hilarious.
that's amazing. Yeah, yeah. What are some of your hobbies and passions outside of streaming? What do you do when you're not on online?
Um, I would say
Well, no,
gaming is my
online is
biggest
fine.
thing.
Yeah.
Gaming is my big thing. When I was younger, I was a huge achievement hunter, huge, and it's kind of something I've recently got back into because I got the Game Pass on PC, and like I just like playing community games, playing a lot of solo games, but on top of it, like um I want to be learning. And like I
Mm-hmm.
discussed with you before, like I just recently got into like true crime stuff, so I've just been listening to a lot of that, and I guarantee within a month I'm going to drop it hard, and I'm going to go into something else.
Mm-hmm.
I do the same with like watching anime, my art, photography. Um, there's just a lot of things that I do, and it's for me, it's a hop and skip. Like this is my hobby for this month. This is my hobby for next month. This is me for the following month. Like there's some months where I don't stream at all, and all I do is I just binge TV shows because I'm just like I don't want to entertain people. I'm
Mm.
not in a gaming mood. I just want to watch TV.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like too many hobbies, not enough time.
Yeah,
So I have like a rotating carousel of what I do outside of Twitch.
that makes sense. Do you know what the longest period of time has been when you took a break from streaming or didn't stream?
Um, I'd say probably it'd be like 9 to 10 months, and I
Wow.
think it was just life got busy. I
Mm-hmm.
just couldn't function. And I remember the day I came back to streaming because I was like, I want to play Fallout New Vegas. I started it up, got my stream going. And I'm looking at OBS. I'm like, why am I dropping so many frames? It's because I did a display capture, not a game capture. And I
Ah,
was kicking myself. I'm like, have I really forgotten how to stream? Have I
yeah,
forgotten how to do all these really simple things? And to me, I was like, it's I missed it when I came back. Is one of those things like it's for
yeah,
me. It's the streaming is fun, and I missed it because it was just like life just took over. You got stuff to take care of, illnesses, family emergencies, stuff like that. It just
sure.
you just forget. And I joke about it now where I'm like, oh, I stream like 3 to 4 times a week. I streamed like once last week, and then I streamed nothing on the week before that, and then the week before that I streamed like 6 times.
Right.
So I'm very sporadic, and it's all about the mental headspace and if there's a game I want to share.
Yeah,
Because 9 times out of 10, the games I want to play, I'm not going to stream it because I want to play like 10 hours by myself.
sure. No, I get that. Do you ever feel any pressure to stream or any anxiety like around streaming?
I do feel pressure a lot. This is something that Spatty and I talk about a lot uh, offline when we're just in the kitchen or something like that. And it's like, man, we want to stream, but there's just stuff we want to do, and we feel bad when we don't stream because it's something we want to share with people. Like yesterday, Spatty streamed painting a 3D model,
Oh, I
and I
missed
love
it.
watching him do that. Yeah, I love watching him do it because he's really good at it. And uh, like, yeah, I sometimes I just want that on in the background just to watch it. And
Mm-hmm.
other than that, like, there are times where it's like I have to stream, and I did that with when I played hardcore a while. I had to stream. A lot of those days where I was playing, I did not want to stream. I did not want to be online. So yeah, I had music going on in the background, and my mic was muted for 7 hours, and I just played. The good thing was nobody was there, so I didn't have to worry about it. But it was a big thing where it's like I think I had one of the longest days I streamed hardcore is like 16 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I just started and I just played and I leveled like 30 or not 30 levels, like 10 to 15 levels that day. And I was not on camera. My mic was muted for 95% of the stream. And honestly, afterwards, I was like, man, I'm glad I got all that work done, but I just did not want to be online because I felt like I had no time to walk away, no time to take a break, no time to just unwind. And there's times where you need to learn. It's like sometimes you just got to take care of yourself,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's super important to do that.
Yeah, totally. What are some things that surprised you when you first started streaming, or things that continue to surprise you as you stream?
I think the one thing that surprises me is when you get new followers and the followers stay. It's not one of those things like, oh, thanks, Mr. So and so, for dropping a raid on me. Oh, thanks for these 5 follows. And then a week later, those 5 follows fall off your list.
Yeah.
Um, but there's times where I'm just streaming, someone drops a follow, they start talking, then they show up the next day, then they don't show up for 2 weeks, and they come back 3 days later after, or 3 weeks later after they disappeared, and then they're just talking away. And it's like, I love that because it's something you don't expect. It's like when you meet somebody at work, you become friends with them. They're like, hey, let's go get a drink. You go get a drink. Then you don't like really talk for a couple weeks, but in a couple months down the road, you hang out again.
Yeah.
It's that friendship that's there, but it comes back because, you know, that's how it works. That's how life works. And the things that don't surprise me on stream is just there can be a lot of negative attitude, not just in my stream, just other places where I go to.
Mm.
People being derogatory towards women, which I hate. Because honestly, if I can play a game with a woman, she kicks my ass. That's awesome because then I have a challenge. I have to beat somebody. Um, but just people just like they're only following you because you're well endowed, and it's like, you know what? Who cares? If that's who they are and that's what it is, who cares? Are you jealous? Probably. Do you have to be derogatory to them? You feel like you have to, but there's no reason to.
Hmm.
People make a living how they need to make a living, and some people do it just to have fun, you know. So for me, it's the negativity of people on here that just never surprises me anymore.
Mm.
Uh, and I think at this point it's almost a sport to watch people ban them so fast or what they say and reply to it. And I know some people get a kick out of that, and it's I shouldn't say I enjoy it, but I do. It's because I just like how quick some of these streamers are just right on them. Because this one guy was like on one channel, he said, "Oh, why aren't you using this weapon? That's like the best weapon." And the guy says, "Yeah, it's because I used it on your mom last night." Just that quick response. Just it's a bad joke, but he just responded. The guy never said a word after that. Like he just, it's putting people in their place, and it's part of being online. The
Yeah.
negativity it's just everywhere. It's the whole reason I deleted Facebook. I just there's so much negativity, and it's not good for me. And that's what I do is I block it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is interesting to see how different people deal with it, because there are so many
Yeah.
different varied responses to it, right? And I think that there is something cool about seeing people be very quick witted for it,
Hmm.
or quick witted towards it. I think too, like there's a lot of privilege in the way in which you're able to respond to trolls, depending on your identity, right? So
Yeah.
if you exist in a body or an identity that is marginalized, the way in which you are able to deal with trolls is very different than someone who is privileged, right? So it's interesting to see that with regard to how people deal with trolls too,
Hmm.
and just with people's ability to put up with it and play with it and toy with it versus not, kind of a thing. That's something that endlessly fascinates me in terms of various people's kind of identities. And like you said, it's not surprising because it's the internet how derogatory people can be,
Hmm.
and at the same time, what surprises me is the way in which people respond to that, because it is so different across the board.
It is. Like I said before, 9 times out of 10, I'll either troll them back or ignore them and let Spatty take care of it, or it just depends. Some people, it's the same way that I just said to you like earlier. Was what I meant to say was not what I said. I just didn't have a way to present it in a way that I could figure out that would suit you.
Yeah.
Um, I had a guy the other day talking to me during Elden Ring, and he was asking me questions, and I could tell right away that English was not his first language. And I was patient. I was very patient with him. He wasn't being mean or anything like that. But like, if somebody else saw that and just saw like his broken, they could have assumed that immediately and just banned this guy, on another channel. For me, it's like I'm gonna give them time
Mm-hmm.
to, and I'll look at it and read it. And there are times where people just bash on the keyboard just to be
Mm-hmm.
funny. Um, I may have done that, but it's not my fault. It's my cat, in your channel a couple times. But it's again, it depends on the streamer themselves. Everybody's different,
Yeah.
and we're all little snowflakes. Like we're all unique in that way. Not the snowflake you think people think of, but the way I think of it is every snowflake is unique in its own way,
Yeah.
and there's not one that's the same. That's the way I look at it online. Is that nobody's the same. Nobody's the
Mm-hmm.
same person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you have an identical twin, that's a rare occurrence, but
Even then, though,
you know,
they're not the same
even
person,
then,
right?
the
Yeah.
personality is completely different. Right,
Totally.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my thought on that is like, you just got to um, keep an open mind.
What kind of streams inspire you? What kind of streamers inspire you?
This person called Abbers, maybe. No.
Stop.
Oh,
Stop.
oh
Thank you.
God. So let's see. When I started, like I said, the first guy I followed was Cobalt Streak. He's a super super chill dude. He mainly just plays Isaac, loves Magic the Gathering. I've watched him when he was just like partnered for like 6 months, and now he's been partnered for 10 years. And watching him grow from being the guy in his parents' attic streaming to a husband and father with a house, and always telling chat he's so sorry when he misses a stream, or he apologizes because his wife needed help with the kid, or because he just was too tired and didn't want to stream. It's to me, it's like he gives 150% to him, and to me, that's inspiring because he does he does mess with trolls, he does deal with them, but overall, he knows people by name. He knows them. Like he'll see I come in and he'll be like, "Hey, how's it going, Gimp?" Immediately if I say something. Um, there's other streamers that I like to follow because just their personalities and how relaxed they are. Like your first guest at Pre Kit Kat. I don't play WoW anymore. I haven't touched WoW in months, and I'm just not curious about it anymore. But I do enjoy just sitting in her channel and listening to her talk and just watch her play. It's stuff like that. And then another person, I'm getting on put on the spot. I'm trying to think of all these people I watch. Um, I watch this streamer called Sun Glitters. She's a girl and is very, 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 very camera shy. She plays Hearthstone and she's in the competitive scene. And during one of the tournaments, they made her be on camera, and the whole time she was on camera, she had like she's sitting with her knees at her face like this because she just didn't want to be on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, she went to a VTuber setup where she uses snap camera and she's a potato, and it just stuck. And now she's a VTuber that's a potato, but she is not afraid to just say what she wants to say. She is very, very kind to her chat. And sometimes when she's just like, I don't want to play Hearthstone, she just turns it off and just goes and watches YouTube with people. Like she's just like, let's just watch like this daily internet video or let's do this. Because, it's she's there to have fun. And she's not gonna let her chat control her.
Yeah.
And it's what inspires me to play sometimes because I'm like, yeah, I just want to have fun. I don't care what people like. I don't care what people don't like. It's for me, it's I'm just here to be me and to
Yeah.
be genuine because we all see those people on YouTube and Twitch that are very much a personality and it's not who they really are. And to
Hmm.
me it's like I get it. It's a job. We all have that retail voice as I say
The
where it's
retail,
high
I love that.
pitched.
Yeah.
It's like, "Hi, how are you today? What can I get for you?" It's like we all do that. We've all done it. But on here, I don't have to pretend who I am. I'm Gimp
Yeah.
or Steve. However, when people know my real name, that's just who I am. There's no reason to hide behind it. So these streamers give me that inspiration to be like, you know what? You can be this goofy person. Like, you can have that VTuber skin, but you're still yourself. You're still
Yeah.
talking. You're still communicating. You're still not hiding your personality because I think the personality in people is what really defines them.
Yeah. Do you feel any need to kind of create boundaries between your private self and your Twitch self?
Um, Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a little hard when your mother runs a charity and you host a stream about her charity and her name is plastered everywhere. So it's like it only takes 2 seconds to Google to find out who I am.
Sure. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in reality, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to give you my direct address.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you
Mm-hmm.
what's major city I'm close to. I'm close to St. Louis. Like that doesn't bother me. I'll say it. But the thing for me is that um, I do keep a lot of my personal life pretty to myself, just because I don't know. I don't see a reason to share it if that makes sense. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, like there are times where I will talk about my personal life. There's times where I will be honest and just say something. But in reality, it's easier to keep them separated, and mostly because I'd say like 95% of myself on stream is who I genuinely am.
Yeah.
It's just how I act. It's the way I act every day at life. It's the way I act at work, which has almost got me in trouble because I try to make jokes and they don't understand them.
What is your day
Um,
job?
I'm a quality assurance, so I'm a bug tester.
Okay, gotcha.
And when I make like we have a work chat and I'll make jokes and then some people will get it and then like some people don't get it and I'm like I gotta remember I'm not on Twitch.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not on Twitch and not with my internet friends or my gaming friends and like these people are around my age but they're complete opposites of
Right?
like my personality and stuff. So
That moment when you say poggers out loud at like a work meeting and you're like, who have I become? What is this?
are you saying that guy messaged you later like, dude, I totally get what you said.
Right, you get that one
Poggers
person
back.
that's like, oh,
Yeah, yeah,
I know where you're,
yeah. I
I
know
know
what
where you
you're doing.
hang out. I know who you are.
Yeah. Like
um,
I go to search for like a GIF and I can't find it because it's not the same search engine that I use at home all the time
yeah,
that knows what GIFs I'm looking for.
right, right. Do you have any kind of like pre-stream or post-stream rituals? Do you think do things to kind of get you ready for stream or things to kind of wind down from stream?
I have a talk with my cats.
Love it. Yep, have to.
It's mostly Navi, keep being yourself. Houdini, don't be an asshole.
Mm.
And what's the thing he does? He climbs up and beats him, and he's an asshole immediately.
Yeah.
I do tend to eat before that because snacking is something that in my brain when I play games I have to snack. And also when I'm not on camera, that's generally what I'm doing. I'm snacking while I'm playing because I just don't want to be on camera having you guys watch me eat chips and salsa or you know a bowl of Cheez-Its or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
One of these here, but
Right, right.
in reality, it's I also like I have to kind of prep myself a little bit, like don't be nervous. Like there's no reason to be nervous.
Yeah.
It's like people who get anxious for the dentist
Mm-hmm.
when in reality they go and it's as quick and painless as I thought it would be,
Yeah.
but they just get so nervous that they can cause themselves to sweat. Um, yeah, I generally start sweating really hard in stream if I say something stupid or if
Mm.
I have a really intense fight in a game and I die and I'm like mad, but it's just for me it's about knowing the mental space, knowing that anything could really happen on stream, anything. And knowing that sometimes I can't control that.
Yeah. Totally.
Um like finding a really hard boss like very early in the game and you're just like I did not want this.
Yeah.
But you adapt, you change. You got to be on the fly. You got to be ready. And I think a lot of times and you can relate to it, technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
Something goes wrong and you're talking and people are like, yeah, I can barely hear you. Or, uh, oh, look, your music in your game is blaring, but you don't hear it.
Yeah.
Or your notifications are going off, but they're like 10 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
for
a
me,
fun
I have
one.
like
Oh, go
sound
ahead.
alerts and they don't I literally test my sound alerts now every time before I go live because I'm afraid they're not going to work.
I had to do the opposite today to make sure that they weren't going off. What's funny? I just realized, and I like was trying like on the fly to be all sneaky about it. I totally forgot to change the stream info before starting, and I just did change it. But it's like little things like that. I think everyone, and correct me if I'm wrong. You've been doing this for 9 years. I think it doesn't matter how long you've been streaming. Little things like that are just going to happen, right?
Oh yeah, no, I mean I do it all the time,
Yeah.
all the time. Um, like I told someone recently, I'm very smart, but I'm very absent-minded.
Mm,
I forget a lot of stuff.
yeah.
Like there, I think, like I just remembered I put laundry in last night and I never moved it,
See?
and I told myself three
Same.
times last night to move it over. Now that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm gonna do right after this is move it over.
Well, and like I have my mental
It's
checklist and I'm going through and I'm like,
yeah.
yep, I checked this, I checked this, I checked this, everything's fine. And then there's always going to be one thing you didn't check or one thing that comes up that you didn't expect, you know?
Sorry. Yeah,
No, you're
no,
good.
I completely understand that. I think it's part of being human.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Streamers are human. Did you know? Some people forget that, I
I,
think.
I thought we were Murlocs, but
Well,
okay.
maybe. Some of us, maybe. Twitch chat, thank you for hanging out. We're going to throw it to you all in just a second here and see if you all have questions for Gimp. So if anyone in Twitch chat has questions for Gimp, feel free to type those out and ask him those in just a minute here. That said, Gimp, what is some advice that you would give your younger streaming self?
Be consistent.
In what way? What do you mean?
Um, be consistent about streaming because Spatty and I had this discussion. I think it was like 5 years ago. I'm like, man, if we actually stuck to streaming when we started, we both would probably be partnered.
Hmm.
easily, because that's the best time to do it. Was those years, was
Yeah.
that it was just starting. People who get it now, it is completely a stroke. I would say 50% a stroke of skill and talent, and the other 50 is luck.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody found you, somebody shared you, and it just kept. It's a hill. It rolls and it tumbles into a giant snowball, basically. Um, so the advice I want to give people now is don't look at numbers.
Mm.
Numbers will drive you into the ground. I understand people who are now partners that weren't a year or two ago, and they'll admit, I just looked at numbers constantly the moment I hit partner, and it drove me insane.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, play what you want. Don't listen to other people. Do what you want to do. If you want to play Hello Kitty at Island Adventure because that's your favorite game, then play it. Someone's going to stop by. Someone's going to like it. It's
Mm-hmm.
everybody. Just because you like one game doesn't mean nobody else does. Everybody likes a certain game,
Yeah.
and everybody will want to be part of that community and talk about it. Because one of my favorite games, and I've never beaten it, is Snake Rattle and Roll.
I've never even heard of it.
It's awful. It's so hard. It is a very, very hard game, and my thumbs are blisters by the end of it.
Mm.
Um, but somebody in another channel was playing it, and I was watching them, and I was like, man, and he's like, yeah, I love this game. It's great. So we chatted for like 10 minutes just about the game, and it's like it's so cool to find somebody like that. So again, if you have a weird, obscure game you just want to play it,
Mm-hmm.
have
Mm-hmm.
fun, show it off. That's how I find a lot of these games now is Twitch.
Yeah.
I don't look at AAA releases. I rarely look at them. I ignore IGN. I ignore all those big things. It's because I want to see what people are playing.
Yeah.
I probably spent more money on indie games than I'm care to admit to. Yes, I do have a lot of like big stuff back here, but in my streaming career, it's mostly indie games. I rarely play the big stuff
Yeah.
unless it's like a sports game or something. But like I love the smaller developers because it's someone who had such a passion they want to show it off.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way as streaming. You have a passion for it, show it off.
Love that. Love that. Do you have any goals or future projects, things you want to do on stream?
Um, I have had a couple big things I've been wanting to work on. Ironically, a podcast like you've been doing.
Do it. So far, I will say, I mean, this is just episode 2, but so far,
It's
I'm
fun.
having a blast. I'm having a great time with it. Yeah.
Um, and then like Dark just mentioned, I have the 100 game challenge that I'm in the works of creating. So the goal was to do 100 games in 6 months. I'm actually probably going to do like 100 games in a year just because life and things happening. But basically, I'm going to play 100 games on stream and beat them. And for every game, I'm going to donate $2 to charity. And it's going to be like I don't know if you ever did this, but the 600-minute reading club when you were a kid,
Oh, yeah.
and you would have people be like, "Oh yeah, I'll endorse you for 25 cents an hour or something like that."
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I'm looking for. Is I want to do that, and then for every game I beat, somebody will be like, "Yeah, I'll donate 50 cents or I'll donate 10 cents."
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? That 10 cents is $10 at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and that $10 can go to some charity that's going to help somebody, help them get a job, or help kids get clothes, or give somebody food for the day. And for me, it's like I want to do that because one, I get to try new games. I'll get to play games I love, and it's just going to be goofy because I know there's going to be a game where I'm going to be like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
There's no guide for this. There's nothing, and I'm just fumbling around.
Yeah.
So it's a big one I'm working on, and I'm probably going to have at least one or two charity streams in the future. I just haven't decided when and what I'm going to do.
Okay. Nice. Awesome. Do you know what you want your podcast to be about?
That's a good question. Again, I am a person with many, many interests, and I love games and stuff like that. I wanted to do a gaming one, and I was like, meh, I don't know. And then I was like, maybe a movie one. I'm like, nah, no, TV show. I'm almost like, it's just a like finding something that someone would want to talk about and just talking about
Mm-hmm.
it. um, yeah, Elden Ring lore would be fun, but I don't have I have to do so much research for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just I want to shoot the shit with people and just you know I want it to feel like you're at a coffee house. You sit down, you both have your coffee, and you're just chatting about something.
Love it.
Like you get excited, like, oh, look at look at this. Like, pull up your phone and show them. And also, like, I want people to know that, like, my biggest thing is I'm an adult. I pay my bills. I do my chores. I clean my house. I feed, like, I do everything an adult's supposed to do. But inside, I'm 13-year-old me. And I will never grow up, and I will always keep playing games, and I will want people to feel that nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like, here's a good example. Did you know McDonald's has adult Happy Meals?
No. Aren't they just called Happy Meals? What?
They
That's
have adult Happy Meals.
adorable. I love it.
They're called, I don't know, you can only get them on the app or in store. But I found out about that. I'm like, I'm going to go get myself a toy.
Nice.
Like, I didn't care. I went and did it. And because I don't want to grow up.
Yeah. I love
Like,
your Snorlax in the background too. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
I have like 8 Snorlaxes.
They're so cute.
He's my favorite.
Yeah.
He is my favorite. So again, I'm looking forward to, I got the Friday off when Pokemon comes out.
Nice.
I was like, hey, work, I'm taking this Friday off. And they're like, okay. Like, oh, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm just going to play video games all day.
I think many of us who are on here streaming, specifically people who are streaming playing video games, but just in general, I think many of us are like very much in tune with our inner child, and I think that's a beautiful thing, honestly.
And I think it's an understatement, because I don't think people understand that.
Yeah.
Being your inner child is going to make you a much more pleasant and happy person.
Yeah.
Because you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable and enjoy what you're doing and to share it with people.
Fully agree.
Because guess what? Spatty and I are just giant kids walking around in a house together. Like, that's basically what it is. We're just goofballs, and we love it.
I think that's great. I think that's lovely. Twitch chat, do you have any questions for Gimp before we wrap things up? Let us know. I know Dark Aquarius has mentioned a few different things here. We've got Snorlax mentions, honorable mention to Snorlax, honorable mention to Navi and Deanie. Dark Aquarius says we didn't get to adulthood to not do the fun stuff we wanted to do as kids. 100%.
That's exactly what I said. I'm an adult. I'm a kid with adult money now, and it's scary.
What's the point of having a job if you can't, buy video games and plushies and all that, right?
Exactly. A big thing I said before is that diabetes used to control my life, and that's the only way I looked at a job was I need something to support that. And now I'm like, it's a second thought, and I can buy the junk that I want, or I call it junk, but it's just a metaphor, just saying, like, it's just stuff I want. Yeah. Nobody else will want it, but I want it. And it's just part of life,
Absolutely. T Miller 66 coming in with the hard questions. What is your favorite Cheez-It flavor?
Ooh. It's a tie between the original and white cheddar.
Oh my god, there's so many.
And the only reason it's a tie is because white cheddar is messy.
Fair.
If, like, I don't mind the powder, but if I'm playing games, I can't eat it. But I mean, we've got the Scooby-Doo snack one. That's another good one.
Cute.
And then I like the snack mix. It's like the Chex Mix, basically.
Yeah. Chopsticks. Yeah. Easy solution. Chopsticks. Very inventive, Dark Aquarius. Love that.
You think I'm good with chopsticks. It's most of the stream of me dropping them.
I mean, that, content, right?
Right.
Well, let's wrap things up here if you're ready. I want to finish things with a kind of quick and dirty 10-question questionnaire, if you're cool with that. So just kind of first thing that comes to mind. Don't feel like you got to think about it too much.
Okay.
So this is a questionnaire that is influenced or inspired by James Lipton and Bernard Pivot and CJ the X. So Gimpxtreme, what game or activity do you love to stream the most?
It's probably Elden Ring right now.
Okay. What game or activity do you hate to stream the most?
Well, I've never done it, but League of Legends. If I ever do something with channel points or something like that, and I have to play it, I will probably be drinking the entire time I'm playing it.
Sounds like a good charity stream to me.
Yeah.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Honestly, streaming has been a big creative turn on for me because when I was younger, I used to make movies.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is I used to make YouTube shorts. If you really dig deep into my YouTube, you can find them. It's when Spatty and I were like 20 years old and we were just making goofy videos with our friends all day. And as much as I wanted to be a writer when I was a kid, I failed English one 3 times. So I just don't want to be a writer. But I love camera shots and movies and stuff like that. I'm very in depth with all of that. So it's one of those things that it's seeing other people be creative makes me creative. It makes me want to like show it off. I mean, let's think about TikTok. 90% of people on TikTok never would have done TikTok unless somebody else did TikTok. They see
Mm-hmm.
somebody do that, and like I could do that. Most of the bigger trending ones are because someone did something and someone else does the same thing. It's literally what it is. It's the spark of creativity. While some people might be like, "Oh, it's not creative." It's content. You're creating it. It's creative content. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. What turns you off creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Um, Fake people.
Mm.
And I've discussed this before about people who have a personality on stream and don't act the same. Um, there are people, yeah, they're entertaining. I might follow them, but I'm not going to watch them all the time. I'm going to watch people who are going to be real and be themselves and not just like, what up, gamers? Today on my channel, we're going to, it's like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I get it. That's what you got to do to make money, but it immediately just turns me off. And I'm just like, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I can't watch this. Like one of the streamers I watch, his name is Barbarous King. He's the most normal person that plays these games. He does get mad and rage and stuff like that, which is normal. And then he makes fun of his chat, literally like mocks his chat, like but like what they're saying. He just makes like a high pitched voice. I just imagine as him picking on his sister or his brother or a sibling or a friend. Like that's exactly what we all do. We all do that. We all make goofy noises. I mean, we do it to our cats.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to Navi because she's a perfect princess. And you do, you talk to Bonnie, and I talk to, well, I yell at Houdini. But it's just people who are genuine, and I love that
Mm-hmm.
because it's just I want people to be real.
Yeah. Which streamer would you like to meet most IRL?
Ooh, Abbers.
Come on. If everyone says me, I'm gonna have to X this question out.
No, I had to troll that one. Man, there's so many people though, because there's a lot of like really really cool people that are out there that are genuinely nice people. Actually, there's a guy, and I haven't watched his stream in a while. We used to race together in Mario 3, and we talked a lot of strategies. His name is Zodiac Dread. Um, he lives in Minnesota. I know that for sure. And we've actually done a couple playthroughs of Dark Souls together. And it was one of those moments where I had a really big race against him. I was the upset. I was the underdog, and I beat him twice. And we started talking and lurking each other's channels. And then one time he's like, "You just want to play Dark Souls together?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's play Dark Souls together." And that's what we did. And now he's one of those Twitch people. When he comes up, I'm just excited to talk to him because it's like, man, I
Mm.
miss my friend. Like, I would love to hang out with him and get a drink or something like that just to chill because he seems like a super cool guy. So, yes, Spatty, I can. I talked to you twice today already.
What is something you would like to try on stream but you never have?
Crowd control.
Mm.
I've done it once. I would love to do it more, but I understand that crowd control involves dumping money, and not everybody has money to dump. So it's basically where it changes the game on the fly. You can do it with channel points, is what I did. I did it with Dark Souls, and basically what it did, like it made my head giant, it made my body fat, it made me change genders, it made my role not work, it made me unable to block. And you could do that by getting it's like an extension through Twitch. It's through a company, and they support I think over like 4 dozen games now. And you can change the prices on there, and so basically I made everything dirt cheap. Like it was like 1 or 2 coins, and people were able to sit there and just mess with me the whole time, which is great. Um, But eventually, if I do, I want to do that, but I want to do it through charity because they do offer a charity way where you donate when you buy the coins through them, they just send it straight to charity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something I would like to do where it could just mess with people so much. Like you could do it with Mario 3. You could just instantly kill the player, or you can send the angry sun, or you can give me power ups, or you can give me one ups. I actually watched someone do it with Mega Man 8 on an ESA speedrun. And it was just so much fun to see people just completely messing with them. And it's live, it just happens instantly. So it's really cool. And I want to get back into that. It's just, it takes a little time to set up because the amount of changes they can do with people is a lot. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you ever look at one for Pokemon, there's over 1,000 options just for Pokemon Red and Blue. It's insane.
Yeah.
And it's just it's definitely a time consuming thing. And um I think doing it through charity would just be so much fun because one, you get to watch me suffer, and who doesn't love that?
What is something you would never want to do on stream?
I would say hot tub stream, but if I actually had a hot tub, yeah, I'd be streaming that.
Hell yeah.
um um One thing I would never want to do is man, I can't even think about it because it's like there's so many cool things that you can do. I think one of the big things is like IRL streaming,
Mm.
like being out in public. Like I've watched people do it, and I'm like, oh, that seems kind of cool. But I'm like, man, do you really want to walk around and do this the whole time, talking to people? Like, oh my god, that's so funny, haha. Like I just you talk about fake, or it's like they're actually probably being genuine themselves, but it's like that's so much work.
Mm.
And then you're doing it in businesses and in front of other people, and it's the look at me
Mm.
perspective of it.
Yeah.
And I no.
Gimp, why do you go live?
I go live because I want people to share, I want to share games with people. I want to help people. I want people to feel friendly. I want to make friends. I want people to know that streaming is not just a business. It's a way to meet people. It's a way to make friends. The amount of friends I've made in the last 2 years on here is insane. And they're genuine, nice people who just want to interact with you. And I think that's the biggest reason why we go live.
Mm-hmm. Follow-up question. Why do you really go
I'm bored.
live? Mm-hmm.
No, really, a lot of times it's because I want to show off games, and I want people to again, I want people to see it, and also Spatty can catch me failing a lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
and then he catches my good moments too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of it. But in reality, like I said before, I just want people to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to share my love with games and make friends.
Yeah. All right, final question. You're on your
Yes.
deathbed. You know
Hmm.
exactly how much time you have left. You have any and all resources available to you that you need. Viewer count doesn't matter. Commercial viability doesn't matter. None of that matters. What do you do for your final stream on Earth?
I'm not going to speed run, that's for sure. Um, Man, that's tough. Honestly, I'd probably want to do a community games with people. I would love to, but a mixture. I'd like it would be like a Jackbox night or Mario Kart or Smash Bros. Or just playing Mario Brothers with my friends. Something that would be just relaxing and fun because sometimes, man, you look at people and the way games are, it's so stressful.
Mm-hmm.
The competitive scene drives people nuts. Everything's super analyzed these days, and it's like, man, can we go back to when we were just playing games together in the basement and we're playing Goldeneye and you're getting mad because we're doing slappers only and you keep catching me off guard, or we decide to play NFL Blitz and you're being mean and just keep hitting my guy after the play's over, something like that. It's I just want it's the genuine innocence feeling of gaming where it's
Yeah,
just having fun.
love it. Gimp, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking your time and just being honest and sharing a little bit more about you. People of Twitch chat, if you are not following Gimpxtreme, Go do it. Go do it on all the things. There's all of his links. Definitely do it here on Twitch and then any of those other socials. Gimp, anything else you want to plug? Anything else you want to let us know about?
Yeah, I'm gonna plug Spatty.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
Spatty is like, he honestly has been my best friend for 18 years now. And I will say that he is the reason I'm on Twitch. He's
He's a
the
great
reason I
guy.
found Twitch. He's the reason I do a lot of things, because he's like, dude, wouldn't that be cool to be on stream and do that? I'm like, oh my God, you're totally right. We should do that together. Um, I do want to give a shout out to you as well, because, you had me on here. I want to shout out to your community, because you guys always make me feel welcome, and you always get my jokes, as bad as they are. Um, and just one more shout out is just to my cats,
Oh, love the cats.
because yeah, I'm
Love the
surprised he didn't
cats.
knock over a box yet, but yeah. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Oh
It
my
was
God,
so
my
much fun.
pleasure. Thank you for being part of the community. P.S. It's lovely to have you. I'm so glad to have met you in this space. And again, thank you for taking the time today and for your honesty. That said, Gimp, we're gonna, in the tradition of this podcast that is just starting, we're gonna raid somebody that you love, somebody online that you want to spread the love to. Anybody
It's fun.
online
I'm,
that you
I'm
want to
looking. I'm looking right now.
hang out with here?
You know what? It's gonna be kind of silly, but let's rate Star Knuckle,
Oh, I love that. Star Knuckle's my little
because
brother.
Star Knuckle and I play a lot of weird games, like not together, but we do play the weird stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've stolen games from him that I want to play. So,
Well, and he's a big
so
Binding of Isaac guy, and so for that to have been kind of
yes,
how you started is really cool. All right,
exactly.
team, I'm gonna put a raid message in here, copy and paste it. Let Star Knuckle know that Gimpxtreme sent us. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. Gimp, thank you again. Always a pleasure. Always a delight.
Oh, it's always fun.
Always fun. If you or someone you know would be a great guest for Why We Go Live, you can send an email to whywegolive@gmail.com. That's WHYWEGOLIVE@gmail.com. You can follow Why We Go Live on Twitter and Instagram for more information and just for all the updates and all the stuff. And one more time, if you're not following Gimp, go follow Gimpxtreme. Go do it. Okay. All right, love you guys. Go say hi to Star Knuckle.
Breathe, baby, breathe.
All right, pleasure, honor, beautiful. Love you, everyone. See you later. Bye. We're rating, we're breathing, we're streaming. It's normal. Let me throw a little raid message in here to Star Knuckle, and also let me stop the stream. Bye, stream. We're not live anymore.